Hey, everybody out there in TV land, thanks so much for checking out part 3 on how to use Remine to get listings for your real estate business. I'm Eddie Acevedo here in Margate, Florida. I've been a real estate professional for over 8 years full time, and I'm otherwise known as Eddie the Tattooed Realtor. Why? Because I have tattoos and I'm a realtor. So thank you so much for checking out this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment. I'm always here to help. Even if you're a homeowner looking to sell, or you're thinking about selling, or have questions of doing it on your own, or you're a buyer or renter, feel free to reach out to me directly. My contact information is in the description below. Feel free to call, text, or email right now. And if you're a real estate professional watching a video and you have some questions about, let's say, marketing or different branding tactics or how to build certain things for your real estate business, feel free to reach out as well. My information is below. So before we get started in part 3, be sure, please, please, be sure to click the subscribe button. I'd be more than happy to, have you a subscriber. Be sure to like and comment. That'd be awesome as well. So in part 3 of how to use Remine to get listings, this is all about marketing pieces, call to action, and nurturing. Okay, so call to action, marketing pieces, and nurturing, the 3 components. Okay, so in the first part 1, we talked about farming, identifying farming. We looked at the matrix, the MLS. In part 2, we looked at how to use Remine to actually identify and gather up the information for particular potential home sellers using their application. And in part 3, we're going to discuss how to, or what to do with that information. Okay, a lot of times when realtors get this information of homeowners, like a mailing address or an address, because remember, in the previous video, I wanted you to get the property address, number 1. I wanted to get the mailing address, number 2, because they can be different. The owner's names, email, and phone numbers if possible. Okay, so now you have a plethora of different information. Now I'm going to focus on predominantly with this marketing nurturing technique, call to action, is if you're going to utilize that mailing address. Okay, the first thing is we talked about funnels also in the last video, and you got to have a funnel, meaning you have something, you have a potential listing come up at the top so you can see it, and then work its way down through the funnel until it converts. Or let's say it doesn't, because the mere fact they're not ready, or it's not the right time to sell or buy or rent. So in this example, you've identified potential sellers and listings. This is the next step. The next step is to design your funnel. I recommend creating a marketing funnel that has at least, let's say, 7 different touches or interactions with this particular customer. Sometimes it takes a little more than 7, sometimes it takes a little less, but I think 7 is a good spot to start. So what do I mean by touches? Well, they could be everything and anything from sending them, let's say, an introduction letter or a postcard. I like postcards a lot better because they don't require someone to open it. It's not like they can ignore the note, and also it's a heck of a lot cheaper to send. I mean, you're saving like 10 cents, but still, every little bit helps. So maybe the first touch is a postcard. Maybe then at the end of the week, you're going to then send out a marketing letter using the particular marketing stats that your MLS has as well. That could be the next step. After marketing stats, it could go to, let's say you're going to send a monthly newsletter, step 3. After a monthly newsletter, maybe you're going to send out for touch 4, you're going to send out, recently sold in your neighborhood. Next one could be recently, listed. Could be all types of things. You got to get creative and try to use the resources at your disposal, because as realtors and our associations, they have all these tools and assets that create automated generated reports that, can really make you shine, because guess what? People aren't doing this. So once you've gathered up this information of potential listings, you've taken from something broad to something very narrow. Okay, you've narrowed down the opportunities to reach and interact with these particular customers. So after you've done that, the next step is to obviously print and produce these materials. Once you've created a list of how many you're going to go after, that's going to determine how many pieces you're going to create. I recommend don't go crazy straight out of the gate, because you don't want to spend all that money unnecessarily. But you could print out a couple postcards, or you could have a couple postcards. Let's say 100 different postcards made, a variety of sorts. You could write different messages on the back. And let's say if you're doing market reports, you could send a letter to them directly. If you are sending a letter, try not to use a stamp for the address. Try to do everything by hand. For the stamp in the upper right hand corner, put it tight, slightly tilted. The reason why you do these types of tactics is because it looks more organic, and they're more likely to open it. Also, when you're sending stuff out, become familiar with what I call like your mailbox rate, meaning when is that particular letter or that piece going to hit a mailbox? You can learn those things if that's not if you're farming an area that you're unfamiliar with. Go to the local post office, talk to the postmaster, and ask them, I'd like something to hit a mailbox at a particular day, let's say on Saturdays, which is probably the optimal day, and he'll tell you when it needs to be in the mail by to hit that zip code. Just a word to the wise. So creating the funnel, nurturing, creating the marketing piece. You need to nurture this lead. Sometimes it takes a while, like farming, you got to plant the seed and eventually it will grow if you take care of it right. And the last thing, call to action. I have seen it time and time again that realtors don't put a call to action on their marketing pieces. A call to action is telling your potential customer to do something, to call you, to text you, to email you, to visit this website, to fill out this form, something. You got to make your call to action strong, visible. It needs to be straight, like right in their face, okay? So this is part 3 of how to use Remine to get listings. We went from farming to actually using the Remine application to marketing, nurturing calls to action. So this is Eddie Acevedo, the Tattooed Realtor here in Margate, Florida. If I can ever be of assistance or you have any questions or comments, feel free to call, text, or email. I'm always here to help. And once again, be sure to subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll catch you later.